Hello, BookTube. We're continuing on with the fourth bookcase. This is the first shelf, the one that runs across the top of the whole bookcase, and it's part 10. So let me start off here. See if we do it in some sort of order. Well, there is no order. Aubrey Beardsley. It's just a small thing. An artist I enjoy. Aubrey Beardsley, A Slave to Beauty by David Colvin. The publisher's Welcome Rain in New York. And the date is 1998. So if you're a Beardsley fan, try to be careful which images I... There's Edward Burne-Jones right there. Let's see if they get the yellow book in here. Oh, here's some more of this stuff. Here's his Designs for Poor Folk by Fyodor Dostoevsky, and A Dancing Faun by Florence Farr, and hopefully you can see those. So he's a designer and artist, the Savoy magazine. Like many great artists, when you see his work, you pretty much know it. Very famous caricature of Oscar Wilde, a little on the cruel side, I would think. But, oh, here they are, the yellow book, which he's famous for right there. Then we'll go to another one of these small art books, Gustav Klimt by Alessandra Comini. And it's George Brasilia, New York. And this was published in 1975, but this is the 8th printing of 88. There's the artist. And up here we have Gustav Mahler. Let's see, there's some images. I like to look at these a little bit before I put them up. Let me give one of those typical ones. Right there. Oh, there's a good one. Try to get stuff that people recognize. So, Gustav Klimt. And now, this is one, I used to have the first 2 volumes of this, and I lost them. It's a long story how, but I picked up the 3rd part when it came out, and I don't have parts 1 and 2, and I keep looking for them. I haven't run into them yet. A Life of Picasso, The Triumphant Years, 1917 to 1932, John Richardson. And like I say, this is the 3rd volume. This is absolutely wonderful biography, so I will pick up volumes 1 and 2. So, Life of Picasso, The Triumphant Years, 1917-1932 by John Richardson, in collaboration with Marilyn McCulley, Alfred Knopf, New York, 2007. Heavily illustrated throughout, beautifully written. So, yeah, I'll find the first 2 of that, and may actually give that all a reread. This here is a biennial sculpture that was held in Monte Carlo in 1995. Thin thing. Let's see who published it. Printemps d'Art. It's Monte Carlo. Let's see. I have to work my way through every language here to get a date on it. 1987. So it's all these sculptures, which are fun in and of themselves, but I had a particular reason for getting it, and that was this gentleman right here, Fernando Botero. whose work I really, really enjoy. Went to a show of his in Naples, Florida. That just loved it. More than the sculptures, I love the images too. I think I have a volume here. We'll get to it eventually. Metropolitan Museum of Art Bulletin. This one's from fall 2010. I just like looking through these. You pick these up randomly. I got another one here. Textile patterns in the Prince Revolution, 1520 to 1620. This is the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Bulletin, fall 2015. Well, you never know what you're going to run into with these recent acquisitions, maybe an article or two. So they're fun. This here is Robert Decharnay's and Gilles Narrett, the Taskin art book, Dolly. I like the Taskin books. Salvador Dali, 1904-1989, and it was published in 1998. Beautiful reproductions. Again, let me be careful with the bit here. So Salvador Dali is, many of you will know him. I enjoyed his stuff. I went to, there's a Dali museum in St. Petersburg, Florida, and I went to that and got interested in his work. This here is a big old softbound Metropolitan, the Museum of Modern Art, excuse me, New York. A history in the collection. A lot of images. This was Museum of Modern Art, New York, Carrie Ann Abrams Incorporated, 1984. And you'll see it's a big old beast of a softbound volume. And runs through a lot of the collection at that time. Nice volume. This other one here is another beast. That's the thing with art books. The Society Anime and the Dreyer Bequest at Yale University. Catalogue Raison by Robert L. Herbert, Eleanor S. Apter, and Elise K. Kennedy. It's published in 1984 by Yale University. There's a color plate. It's hard to see because the colors are grayish. This is just massive. It's more of a something to browse through. This next one is we covered earlier on the shelf. Robert Hughes, who's one of my favorites, is an art critic and art historian. This is Art History, American Visions, The Epic History of Art in America by Robert Hughes. There he is. This was Alfred A. Knopf, New York, 1997. It's a Borzoi book. The title page. Let's see. Writing with all the brilliance, authority, and pungent wit that have distinguished his art criticism for Time magazine and his greatly acclaimed study of modern art, The Shock of the New, Robert Hughes now addresses his largest subject, the history of art in America. So, just give you an idea of, it's just a beautiful book. So, an art history of America. And then finally here, I spent some time in New Mexico, so I get interested in Georgia O'Keeffe. This is Georgia O'Keeffe, A Life by Roxana Robinson. biography of the artist. It was an Edward Burlingame book, Harper and Rose Publishers, New York, first edition, 1989. Here's with Alfred Stieglitz, the photographer. And there she is in Texas. Let's see. So lots of the photographs of her and the people around her. Good biography. So that will do. I can't remember what I said. It's the fourth bookcase, the first long shelf art and architecture, and I believe that's the end of the 10th part. So thank you, BookTube.